15 minutes. That's all that stands between now and something the world has never seen before. The air feels different tonight, charged, electric, alive with possibility. Billions of eyes are waiting, millions of hearts beating faster, wondering what Elon Musk is about to do this time. Some call him a genius. Others call him reckless. But whatever you call him, one thing's certain, he dares to do what others won't even dream of, 15 minutes. That's how long it takes to change the world. Think about that for a second. In 15 minutes, a rocket can leave Earth's atmosphere. In 15 minutes, a car can break a speed record. In 15 minutes, one idea can become a movement that defines a generation. And right now, Elon Musk stands on the edge of yet another unknown. Another impossible. Another you can't do that moment. But here's the truth that most people forget. Elon Musk didn't start as a billionaire, a CEO, or a symbol of futuristic ambition. He started as a dreamer. A kid who read too much science fiction, who got bullied, who spent lonely nights staring at the stars, wondering why we stopped trying to reach them. That's where it all begins. Not with money, not with fame, not with luck. It begins with curiosity. With a question that refuses to go unanswered. With a vision that won't sit still. When people told him electric cars would never work, he didn't argue, he built one. When they said private rockets couldn't reach orbit, he didn't protest, he proved them wrong. When they laughed at the idea of colonizing Mars, he didn't debate, he started planning. 15 minutes. That's not just a countdown to a surprise. It's a reminder, the future doesn't happen to us. We create it. Right now, someone is scrolling through their phone, waiting for Musk's next move. But maybe this isn't about him. Maybe this is about you. Maybe this countdown isn't to Elon's next invention, but to your next decision. Because just like him, you've got an idea that scares you. A goal that feels too far, too heavy, too impossible. Maybe people have laughed at your dreams. Maybe they've told you to be realistic, to slow down, to take the safe path. But remember this. Every person who ever changed the world was told they couldn't. They said Edison failed too many times. They said Wright brothers would never fly. They said Musk was crazy, but crazy is just another word for ahead of your time. As the clock ticks down, 14 minutes. 13. 12. Imagine what could happen if you stopped waiting for permission and started acting on your belief. You don't need the world to understand you right away. You don't need applause, or validation, or instant results. You just need fire. You need patience. You need to stay in the fight when the world walks away. Elon once said, when something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. That's not just a quote. That's a challenge. How many times have you said one day? How many times have you looked at someone like him and thought, I wish I could do that? Well, Here's the truth: you can. Not because it's easy, but because it's possible. Dreams don't belong to the gifted, they belong to the relentless. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary isn't talent. It's endurance. It's the willingness to try again when everyone else has stopped. Maybe right now you're working a job that drains you. Maybe you're studying something you don't love. Maybe you've failed so many times that success feels like a fantasy. But I'll tell you this: every overnight success was years of invisible struggle. Every legend began in silence. Before Tesla, there were prototypes that exploded. Before SpaceX, there were rockets that crashed. Before greatness, there was chaos. Don't be afraid of your chaos. That's where the masterpiece begins. 11 minutes left. The crowd is buzzing. The cameras are ready. The lights are focused on one stage, one man, one moment. But look beyond the screen. What's really happening is bigger than this event. What's happening is a reminder to humanity that the impossible is negotiable, that progress is not a privilege, it's a decision. Elon Musk's secret reveal might be a new rocket, a new AI, a new invention that bends reality. But the real revelation is this: the limits we believe in are man-made, and if man made them, man can break them. 10 minutes left. Think about your dream. The one you buried because life got in the way. The one you told yourself you'd get back to someday. Maybe someday is right now. Maybe this countdown is your wake-up call, because time isn't waiting. Opportunities don't come with guarantees. And the world doesn't pause for hesitation. You don't need to be a billionaire to build something that matters. You don't need a company to start a revolution. You just need to begin, with whatever you have, wherever you are. 9 minutes left. As the lights flash and the crowd grows silent, remember, Elon Musk's story isn't about Mars, or cars, or AI. It's about human potential. It's about the raw, unfiltered courage to believe that one person can tilt the future forward. The truth is, you have that same spark. The same ability to take an idea and give it wings. You might not have rockets, but you have resilience. You might not have investors, but you have imagination, and imagination, that's where revolutions are born. So, as the final minutes tick away, don't just watch the event. Feel it. Let it remind you of what's possible. Let it wake up the part of you that still believes in miracles. Because the world doesn't need another spectator. It needs another creator. 2. The cameras pan across a sea of expectant faces: engineers, dreamers, skeptics, believers. They all came for one reason: to witness something new, something that might change everything. The air hums with the kind of anticipation you can feel in your bones. But look closer. The real electricity isn't on the stage, it's in the crowd. It's in the hearts of people who are daring to hope again. Because deep down, everyone wants proof that impossible is just a temporary state. Elon Musk walks onto the stage. Calm. collected, focused. You can almost hear the unspoken words echo in the silence. Let's make history, again. But before he speaks, let's pause here, because what you're really watching isn't just a man revealing an invention. You're watching the living embodiment of commitment. Think about how many nights he stared at blueprints, chasing ideas that didn't work, yet. How many failures he's endured under the harsh light of global judgment. How many times he's risked everything, not for glory, but for progress. 7 minutes left. Most people give up when things get hard. When the world laughs. When failure feels final. But Musk learned the secret early: failure is data. It's feedback. It's proof that you're trying. Every burned-out rocket taught him something. Every setback carved a lesson. Every "you can't" became fuel for "watch me." That's what separates the dreamers from the doers, not luck, but endurance. And maybe that's the lesson waiting for you in this countdown. You see, your dream will test you too. It'll break you down before it builds you up. It'll challenge your patience, your faith, your sanity. But that's not punishment, that's preparation. Greatness demands proof of dedication. 6 minutes left. The audience is silent now. The lights dim. A single spotlight falls on Musk. He smiles, the kind of smile that says you have no idea what's coming. But here's the truth: the invention isn't the story. The story is the journey. Remember the sleepless nights he spent coding PayPal's early prototypes, when he couldn't afford rent. Remember the ridicule when he said humans would one day live on Mars. Remember how the world called him delusional, arrogant, unfit. Now look at him. The same man, same dream, just a different stage. If that doesn't prove that perseverance rewrites reality, what will? 5 minutes left. You might be in your own version of that countdown right now. A dream waiting to lift off. A goal you've delayed for fear of failing. A vision you've hidden because people won't understand it yet. But listen, every creator feels that fear. Every innovator feels that doubt. You're not alone in that silence. The difference is, will you move anyway? Fear never disappears. Confidence is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to act despite it. If Musk waited until he felt ready, we'd still be waiting for electric cars. If you wait for perfect timing, you'll miss the moment that could have changed your life. 4 minutes left. The crowd starts chanting, not his name, but what he represents: possibility. The screens behind him flicker with images of rockets, of Mars, of cities glowing under solar power, and in that light, one truth becomes undeniable: the future doesn't belong to the wealthy, or the lucky, or the chosen few. It belongs to the relentless. Every person who ever made history started out just like you, scared, unsure, underqualified, and underprepared. But they began anyway. You might not have all the answers. That's okay. Start with the question. Start with curiosity. Start with a single, stubborn belief: maybe I can. 3 minutes left. The music builds. A slow crescendo that mirrors the heartbeat of everyone watching. The stage becomes a symbol, a reminder that destiny isn't discovered, it's built, and maybe tonight isn't about Elon Musk's reveal at all. Maybe it's about yours, because someday, someone will be counting down to your launch, to your announcement, to your breakthrough, and they'll look at you the way people look at him, as proof that one idea, one spark, one relentless person can bend reality. 2 minutes left. You can feel it now, not just excitement, but connection. The crowd is no longer an audience. They're participants in something bigger than themselves. That's what great vision does. It unites people through belief. When Musk talks about colonizing Mars, he's not just talking about planets. He's talking about pushing human potential beyond limits. He's saying, we are not finished yet. We are not stuck here. We are still explorers. And so are you. You don't need to build rockets to explore. You can explore your potential, your purpose, your strength. You can discover what happens when you stop holding yourself back, because maybe the next great revolution won't be built in a lab, maybe it'll start in your mind. 1 minute left, the lights dim again. The crowd holds its breath. The clock hits 60 seconds, but in this last minute, let's not focus on what he's about to reveal. Let's focus on you. You've been waiting for a sign. You've been looking for permission. You've been hoping for the perfect moment to start. This is it. This is your countdown. No more excuses. No more someday. Every dream you've buried under fear deserves to rise. Every failure that haunted you deserves to be reframed as fuel. Every scar, every setback, every sleepless night, they've all been preparing you for this moment, because when the lights go on and the reveal happens, it won't just be Elon Musk changing the world. It'll be you changing yours. 10 seconds. 9. 8. The crowd chants louder. 7. 6. 5. You can feel it. The surge, the energy, the belief. 4. 3. 2. 1. The stage bursts into light, and whether it's a rocket, a new AI, or something the world never saw coming, the real miracle isn't what's revealed on stage. It's what's been revealed in you, because tonight, you remembered, you don't need to watch greatness happen, you can become it. 3. The lights explode across the stage, brilliant, blinding, beautiful. 1,000 cameras flash, and in that instant, history holds its breath, the crowd erupts. Some cheer, some cry, some simply stand in stunned silence. The reveal has happened. Elon Musk's next great idea is no longer a secret, it's a statement. It's a vision made real, but here's the thing, what truly moves the audience isn't the technology. It's the feeling. The realization that they've just witnessed proof of what happens when belief refuses to die. Every innovation Musk brings to life carries one message: it can be done. But deeper than that, so can you. You can see it in his eyes as he begins to speak. Not arrogance. Not pride. Just purpose. That quiet, unshakable kind of conviction that comes from years of falling, failing, and still choosing to stand up again. He starts to talk about the future. About sustainability. About humanity's destiny beyond Earth. But between the lines, what he's really saying is this: if something matters enough to you, you don't stop. You don't slow down. You don't surrender to fear. And that's where you realize, this reveal, this moment, isn't about rockets or robots. It's about resilience. It's about the people who dared to keep building when the world stopped believing. The echo of effort. Somewhere in that crowd stands a young engineer. Her hands shake as she claps, not because of what Musk built, but because she suddenly remembers why she started. She had dreams once, big ones, until the rejections came. Until her own prototypes failed. Until her passion turned into pressure. But tonight, seeing this moment, she remembers that failure isn't the opposite of success, it's the path to it, and somewhere else, a student watches from home, eyes glued to the screen. He's broke, tired, lost between what society expects and what his heart screams for. But as he watches the launch video play behind Musk, he whispers, "Maybe I can still try." And that whisper? That's how revolutions begin, because courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it just whispers, "One more try." The birth of belief. As the crowd continues to cheer, Musk's words fade into something larger, an energy that fills the air, an invisible current of possibility. You can feel it, the sense that limits are illusions, that failure is just unfinished success, that each human heart carries its own blueprint for greatness. Maybe Musk's true genius isn't in technology, maybe it's in the way he makes people believe again. Because every time he unveils something new, it's not just a product. It's a permission slip, a reminder that no dream is too absurd, no mountain too steep, no vision too far, and maybe that's what this reveal really is, not a new invention, but a mirror. A mirror reflecting what you could become if you refuse to give up, the weight of impossible. There's a moment of silence after the applause fades. The kind of silence that speaks louder than words. Elon Musk looks out at the crowd, thousands of faces illuminated by light and wonder, and says quietly, "The word impossible is just the universe testing how badly you want it." The room goes still. The cameras stop clicking. You can feel the weight of those words sink deep, because impossible isn't a wall, it's a question. How much do you believe in this? How much are you willing to risk? How far will you go when no one claps, no one helps, no one believes? That's the test every dream faces. Most people stop when the world says no. But a few, the ones who change everything, keep going until the world has no choice but to say yes. That's what this reveal represents. Persistence made visible, the audience within you. As the event nears its end, the applause returns, thunderous, endless. Yet somewhere deep down, you realize this was never about watching someone else make history. It was about remembering that you can too, because right now, there's an audience inside you, the version of yourself that's waiting to see if you'll finally take that step. The part of you that's tired of wishing and ready to build, that voice inside that keeps saying, "You were made for more." You can silence it with fear, or you can feed it with action, and maybe this moment, this reveal, is the spark that lights the fire, not because Elon Musk has done something extraordinary, but because he's reminded you that extraordinary is always an option. The power of belief. Look at what's really happening here. A boy who once got bullied in South Africa, who once sold video games from his bedroom, who once slept in his office because he couldn't afford rent, that same boy now stands at the center of the world stage. What changed? Not his intelligence, not his luck, not even his resources. What changed was his refusal to quit. Every time life knocked him down, he got up, not with anger, but with intent. Every time someone doubted him, he didn't argue, he built proof. That's the real revelation, belief that builds, because belief alone isn't enough. It must evolve into motion, into work, into discipline. Musk didn't dream harder than others, he worked longer. He failed more. He stayed longer in the dark until the light finally appeared, and that's the story every great dream shares, the stubborn belief that even if the world doesn't understand today, one day it will. Beyond the reveal, the stage lights dim. The event ends. The headlines begin, but something far greater lingers, an echo in your chest that says, don't just admire the impossible. Attempt it. Because someday, someone else will be watching you. They'll look at your story, your struggles, your scars, and they'll see proof that it can be done. The cycle of inspiration never ends. It only transfers from one believer to the next, from one vision to another. Maybe that's the real surprise tonight, not what Elon Musk revealed to the world, but what he revealed in the world, the spark of unstoppable human potential. The event hall empties. The lights fade. The stage is quiet again. But somewhere, across countless homes and hearts, a movement begins, quietly, invisibly, unshakably, because now, millions of people aren't just dreaming, they're daring. And maybe, just maybe, you're one of them, because you've seen what belief looks like in action, you've seen what 15 minutes of courage can do. And now it's your turn to stand up and whisper to yourself the same words that started it all. If something matters enough to me, I will do it, even if the odds are not in my favor. That's not just Elon Musk's philosophy, that's the formula for every dream worth chasing.